like that.
Oh, I have a 580 up there on that shelf of graphics cards, as you can see right there. I think that
I'm
one,
not even
right?
going to show you guys all my graphics cards.
Like,
Yeah.
but I
So
didn't
he's
even
about to
show.
ask for advice.
Not really advice. I'm just trying to explaining that I need a new PC. I want to. I don't know. I got a 4K monitor that I'm looking at right now that's currently set to 1080p for a reason. You know, I'd like to have
Yeah,
a
you're on
4K
some
setup.
ancient hardware there, Kyle.
Yeah, yeah. It's 4 or 5 years old, something like that. I got it for free though. That was nice. Oh no, that's right. They made me pay, those anti-gun cocksuckers.
They did?
I, so that was so originally they were gonna give me like $10,000 worth of free PCs to like incorporate them in a video in some way, and like it went all the way through their marketing department. Everything was signed up. They agreed. We met them in person in LA. We had lunch, and then it turned out that like the owner, who really didn't have much to do with like day-to-day operations or he wasn't like didn't know about all this, was like super anti-gun and immediately pulled the plug on the whole thing, like just based on
Wow.
that. So to make it up, they gave me the builds that I wanted at cost, I think. But even then, Kitty was like, "Is it cost? You can't get it any cheaper." And I was like, "Fuck those anti-gun bastards! I'll buy it full price." She's like, "I'm printing it anyway. I'll pay for it." And I was like, "Don't you pay it for it! Don't you do that!" And then she did it anyway. And the PC sat downstairs, and I refused to use it for like 9 months.
It's kind of funny. Like last year, yeah, it was last year. I had a buddy who runs a gun store out here, and he was like, "Hey, we just built a PC, so why don't we teach you how to build an AR?" And I'm like, "Okay, cool," because I didn't know how to build an AR. So we did a collab video where we built the AR, and it was a really cool video. And then we went out to the desert and we were shooting it. And it's funny how some people just freaked out. Like they started emailing my sponsors, like, "Did you know that Jay like supports terrorism and school shootings?" And they were sending some really crazy stuff. And all my sponsors like sent the email, like forwarded it to me, and were like, "Ha, look at this crazy asshole!" Like they were making fun of the guy sending the messages. But it's just funny how they went after my livelihood because of their view on the guns. But
What kind of build did you do? Like did you start with components, or did you like build did you start with an 80% lower and like where?
no,
did,
it
where
was
did
it
you
was
start?
a it was a strip lower. God, I'll be honest, I'm so
You just started with the
ignorant.
components basically and put it together.
It was all components, yeah. And then he bought like a something. I don't even know the brand names. That's how bad I am. But
Okay. I
we,
won't go into it. I mean,
I wish I could tell you the specs, but I really don't know. I just know it shoots really nice, and with the EOTech, I know whatever I put the dot on dies, and I'm okay with that.
Did you keep
So,
the gun? Do you still
Well, yeah,
have it?
it wasn't a sponsored video. I paid for all the parts.
Oh, okay.
All I know is we have the aluminum reinforced polymer lower. I remember which brand that is, but it shoots nice. I'm happy with it. I don't go
Mine has something-
shooting and all a lot.
I have something similar. I've got. Grab it. It's right here. There's a pile of them.
A picture of it, actually. A pile of yours. Which AR is he going to grab today? His Monday AR?
It's his Tuesday or Thursday AR.
Whatever day it is. No, he's got so many, he can use Mondays and Thursdays on Thursday.
Yeah, let's see.
See, now he's making me
Have we
want to
seen
go
this
and
one
get
before, Kyle?
Oh, I know this
Yeah, I made a
one.
video. This is the
It's very light.
holding. Yeah, it's like 6 pounds or something. I don't recall exactly. This is the holding. What is this called? This is a
That'll-
carbon fiber AR.
That'll kill a squirrel.
So like the whole 4 ends carbon fiber. It's actual carbon fiber. It's not like a wrap or anything. It like weighs
Yeah.
enough.
You need to go hunting with that just to shut up all the people who say you don't hunt with that.
I'd love to.
Every politician lately. I
I
hunt
could-
with this.
If I go pig hunting, it might just be this. It's got a Geisley trigger in it. It's a competition trigger. I can shoot this thing so goddamn fast. It's got this bad lever here, and basically what that does
I did a bad lever on mine.
is so like normally when I want to drop the bolt, let's say I put my magazine in. I don't have a mag handy. Put my magazine in and I want to drop the bolt. Normally I have to come over here with my left hand and hit a release over here, but here I've got it right here.
I dropped a link to mine in the chat. I don't have the Spitfire sight on there anymore. It's an EOTech now. But yeah, I dropped a link in there. So it's that Omni hybrid lower.
Let's see
But it's
here.
the reinforced one because I guess I had one before, like
Oh, that's cool.
first. It's like a first gen that didn't have the reinforced buffer tube, and so they were breaking. But this one, like the whole rear is actually aluminum and then just polyed over the aluminum.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. I like your rifle. The only thing I would possibly change is a different muzzle brake. Because I think
Oh,
that
yeah,
was like
it's
standard birdcage. deal.
it's standard. Yeah, we didn't get around to it yet. I actually haven't shot it in quite a few months because it's just been too hot to go to the desert.
That
This
looks
one's
like
really
it's-
cool.
That one is cool.
This thing has like zero recoil. It really doesn't. I almost want to shamelessly like watch the segment of me like rapid firing this thing because it shows that like it's just and the back the stock is carbon fiber too. This is a carbon fiber tube with a butt plate and the buffer spring and all that's in
I
here.
like that
and,
style.
Yeah, it's different. You know, it's kind of it's not what everybody would want. Most people want a collapsible stock,
Right.
and most people want to be able to put their gadgets out here. But I like it. It's kind of minimalistic. It's got backup iron sights, but mostly it's just got the little reflex sight. I like this gun.
How much is that worth? How much does that gun cost as you have it in your hands?
Like 2,800, I think.
Yeah, see, the budget I had on mine with sight was I wanted to stay under like 1,600. So I think all the parts came to, and they gave me kind of like costs on a lot of these parts. So I got the whole rifle for about 1,100 with all the parts, and then the EOTech brought it up to like right where my budget was. But it's for an entry level budget on an AR, it actually shoots really, really nice. I'm happy with it.
Totally. Yeah, it's a lot cheaper to put your rifle together yourself anyway.
Yeah.
Starting
Yeah.
with that
Well, I
point.
mean, like an MMP Sport, you know, isn't going to shoot anything like this does, and not to mention this has more upgrades. And what is it? The MMP Sport doesn't have a forward assist, I think, and it also doesn't have a dust cover.
No dust cover, huh?
Yeah, that was the two things I didn't like about the MMP Sport. It didn't have the forward assist or a dust cover.
That's a nice rifle. I like AR-15s.
That means
Everybody
a lot
should
coming
have-
from you, man. I think you'd be like, a piece of shit. I could pull
No,
more
they're
ARs
like-
out of my anus.
I've got a bunch of them, but like, I mean, they all do the same shit. Like,
Yeah.
everybody's
That's-
got their own fancy one. To impress me, you got to do something kind of cool to your AR. I like when people like
Customize.
really. I like SBRs. I like when they've got like a super short barrel and they're suppressed and they're integrally suppressed.
But
and
I
they
can't
work-
do a super short barrel. I want to, but I can't. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I
California?
haven't. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I haven't changed the muzzle brake. Is because the muzzle brake keeps me at the legal length right now, and some of the muzzle brakes I was looking at were a little bit shorter than that one.
So you can't do SBRs there without what? What's required there?
16-inch barrel.
No. I mean, what would you have to do to acquire yourself an SBR? Because I know Richard. I was talking to Richard Ryan the other day. And he's got a
Oh.
dangerous weapons permit
Yeah.
and a few other things. But I know he can have SBRs. I mean, he's got drones that drop bombs on people, literally.
I honestly wouldn't even know. I know I
interesting
can't even buy this stuff here.
To talk to Kyle about guns, he is both like I don't know, he's positive about every gun almost, and it's like he's not a snob about it, but
Well, that's
he's
how I try to
also-
go about the
he's
PCs.
been
you know,
there,
pe-
done that on everything. You know, he's
Well,
like
yeah.
everything is just an ordinary gun to him. Everything is
No,
fine.
I get it. I get it. I really do. I mean, it's just like, you know, I am to PCs, kind of like Kyle is to guns, where I'm an enthusiast of the PC, not just like I'm enthusiast of this PC and this hardware. You know, so people will send me their pictures and be like, "Hey, it's not as good as yours," but it's like, no, that's an awesome PC. It's yours. Enjoy it. You know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just different configuration. You're getting the
Right.
same place in the end. It doesn't matter how
Yeah.
you do it. Like this gun is super light. But it also has very low recoil. Those are two things that mean a lot to me. I can shoot this thing so fucking fast. It's almost fully automatic with my trigger finger. It's
Right.
good for that. But then I got like 3 ARs in that room over there. They're just junk ARs. One of them's my slide fire AR. One of them's my carry handle AR. There's a 300 blackout AR. I got different tools for different things. Got
You know,
lots of
my actual favorite weapon that I own, and I'll drop a link in here. It's not a very close-up picture, but you'll see it up on the top there. It's an old 38 Special. That 38 Special was actually given to me by my mom, and that's a 1968 FBI issued 38 Special.
Yeah, that's
Original,
very cool.
original wood. You probably couldn't hit the broadside of a barn 10 feet away with it. That barrel's so shot out, but it's just one of those things where it's original wood and it still has all its like patina.
I'd
and
love to
everything.
pistol whip somebody with that.
Exactly right, just like an old 1970s movie.
I
yeah,
know, like
it's-
that episode of Sopranos when Coco said that nasty thing to Meadow, Tony's daughter, and he walks into Tony's restaurant with that 38, and the first thing he does is knock all his fucking teeth out. Yeah, it was great.
It's about the size of brass knuckles. I mean, hey.
Yeah, you just hold it like that.
Yeah.
Violence talk.
Here's what popped in my mind. I
Eric,
just watched an episode of Scrubs tonight where apparently is JD, is he the skinny white guy? Yeah, JD and Turk. So JD goes down there. Turk, for some reason, goes down the water slide and his pants come off. And Turk is like, the lifeguard said I could go. And he's like, did the lifeguard say you could take your pants off? I feel like I got pistol whipped.
Hit him in the face
And I was like, oh, that's funny. It took me a second. Somehow that popped into my head.
I like Scrubs a lot. Zach Braff's, whatever happened with him crowdfunding that movie? Did they ever make that movie?
It was like Jersey 2 or something.
Yeah,
like that, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I tried a few episodes of Scrubs. I just couldn't get into it.
When did you start? Like from season 1 and
Garden State.
It was years ago that I tried watching it. I think
the later
like one of the
episodes-
middle seasons.
Well, the later episodes get kind of bad because they lose main characters. But I don't know if I were gonna watch it, like find the episodes that have Brendan Fraser in it. I feel like those are
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser. Yeah, I won't spoil it, but like it's a good episode. Those are good episodes. Yeah.
You can spoil it. I'm not gonna watch it.
He's got cancer and he's dying, and you don't find out till halfway through. And it's kind of emotional with actual good acting within a silly comedy. So it's like,
What show is this?
Yeah, they can act. Scrubs. Dr. Cox's brother is, I think it's either his brother or his friend is played by Brendan Fraser, who has like leukemia, cancer, something like that, and he's dying. And he tells JD, but Dr. Cox doesn't know. And then they had this little like 3-way triangle of like kind of friendship where like they're sharing this guy. Like Dr. Cox can't accept that his friend is dying. He's angry about it, and like he's trying to deal with it. And it's an emotional episode. It's good.
That guy's
it might
a very good actor.
Brendan Fraser or Dr. Cox?
Dr. Cox.
Agreed.
I forget his name, but
What else is he in?
I just know him from Scrubs, but like Kyle said, he shows a lot of range. Like the way that he like commits to a joke, and it just becomes like, even if it's not an instant hit, like he commits to it in such a way that he turns you around. You're like, actually, like he wins you over. And then he can do the emotional stuff, like with the cancer episodes.
I've seen him in films, but I'm having a hard time.
Me
like
too.
naming
Oh,
right
you
now.
know me. Basically, the Zach Braff movie you were asking about was called "Wish I Was Here," and it looks like he made it, and they're calling it Garden State 2, and that's as much as I know.
Okay.
They're calling it Garden State 2. Is that an insult, or is that like the name of the movie now? Garden State 2. I never saw the first one. I just don't know.
Practically speaking, that's what it is, but I think they're going with a different title.
It wasn't meant to be an inside. They're calling it a follow-up to Garden State, so they're just I think they're just explaining what the movie is. So
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I want to see what these crowd-funded movies turn out to be. You know what I mean? Like, because there's a Super Trooper one. I don't know when that's going to happen, but they had their big crowdfunding push for Super Troopers 2, and it's going to happen. I know they didn't get as much as they wanted, like their peak goals, and some of those peak goals involved getting the character who plays, the chief, like the old guy who was like, "Give me the goddamn soap," and he like bites it or whatever. That old guy. I feel like he's really funny, and he kind of tied that cast together. So it sucks if they don't have him. And I think another one of the goals involved them getting a real bear for some sort of bear fucking scene with a real bear. You bear fucker! like I thought there was going to be some of that, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. I want to see how the crowd-funded movie is going to work out.
I have a PC question for Jay. So the new Skylake processors came out, and they're all 4-core. Are the Hex and Octa-core versions coming?
I don't think you would see any Skylake E type stuff till maybe next year. Like the enthusiast stuff which would be like the 6 and 8 core you asked about, would be on a whole different platform, and usually they're like a year behind the mainstream stuff. See,
I don't remember this happening in previous processors. I'm not an expert like you, but I just kind of remembered like when the 5000 series stuff dropped, didn't the Octa and Octa cores and Hex cores drop, right?
No, X99 there is no 5000 series mainstream. It went from 4790K to 6700K, which is Skylake. So there's no 5000. The 5000 series right now is X99, which is 5820K, 5930, and 5960X. So those are all 6-core, 12-thread, or 8-core, 16-thread CPUs. But but usually they kind of alternate. Intel's kind of on an every year release cycle right now, but it's kind of been shitty for like the last 3 years. Intel hasn't really made any major pushes for anything. The 5960X, which is their extreme processor, which I'm running on that machine right there, was the main processor that dropped for X99, and that was the first update for that platform. You know, the 6-core and 8-core platform. Well, they never had an 8-core, so let's say the 6-core platform was their first update in 4 years. They ran that X79 platform from 2011 to 2014.
So here's the problem I'm trying to solve. Sometimes I want to use OBS and live stream and record at the same time. It appears that's asking it to encode twice, you know, at once, and I run short on CPU. So if you wanted a lot of CPU, so you could game and encode twice at once, where would you be? Xeon something or other?
You could. I have so you know Jerry Barnaglys. He's running a system right now that has dual Xeons in it, so he's got 2 CPUs. My 5960X, which is a single 8-core 16-thread CPU, overclocked, is beating his dual Xeon system in many tasks, including gaming and live streaming and encoding, because a lot of the stuff that you're going to be using isn't really designed or programmed to take advantage of things like Xeons and dual Xeon systems or whatnot. So a Xeon itself, like core for core, is going to be about the same as a 5960X. In fact, the 5960X is kind of like a shaved down Xeon, at least their first engineering samples were. But the overclocking of it really pushes it ahead in a lot of like the applications you'll be using it with the gaming and the encoding. Depending on what you're playing though, there's a program I've used in the past when I used to live stream a lot and did live encoding, you know, live streaming and gaming, and I didn't notice any frame drops either in the encoding or while gaming, using a program called DxTory. And what that does is it offloads the encoding onto the GPU instead of the CPU. Because the CPU is usually going to be...
do that too.
Yeah, but I've noticed that DxTory does a better job of it.
Okay.
And then OBS will just pull in DxTory like a camera. It'll think it's a camera.
I've done that.
Yeah.
But
so, it really depends. But a lot of the newer games, though, they're not working right with programs like DxTory. It's one of the reasons I stopped. Like the hook, like the DX11 and definitely DX12 hooks are not working with those captures.
That's actually why I stopped doing DxTory too. It just wasn't working. If I remember right, it would stop. Like when I tried to record, it would only last like 1 second or 3 seconds, and just so straight up OBS.
Or sometimes you would even get just terrible frame drops, even with the DxTory encoder, which is usually very efficient. You get lots of frame drops and stutters in the playback. So
I've had that too, actually. Now that you mention it,
yeah. No, it's still probably one of the best and smoothest ways you can do it is to have a dual system, a streaming system and a gaming system, and you capture it all on the stream system and have your mic hooked up over there. Because that's such a pain in the ass is why I don't really do any games anymore online. Any streaming, I should say. Yeah. I mean, there's ways around it, but if you wanted a single system to do all of it, then yeah, definitely the more horsepower, the better. But the CPU is always going to delegate the priority to the streaming software because that's a live encoding. So sometimes people think getting like massive GPU power and stuff is going to fix the dropped frames in streaming, but that has nothing to do with the graphics card.
Yeah,
that's just prioritization.
So, So 5960X, you think? Is there anything great coming around the corner that I should wait 3 months or?
You know, based on the history, like I don't know anything coming down the pipeline from Intel. If I did, I'd probably upgrade this thing already, but they usually wait like 2 years before they even bring out new enthusiast platform stuff.
So now it's fine.
Yeah, if people who ask me right now, hey, should I wait or should I build? I tell them, go ahead and build now. There's nothing new coming. All the new GPUs are out, all the new CPUs out, all the new motherboards are out. So if you build now, you're pretty safe.
And last thing, like you talked about your 5960X keeping up with Barnakley's system because it was overclocked. But I don't really have any intention of building the kind of water cooling system that I saw when you pointed your camera at it.
You don't have to. That's just enthusiast grade there. I mean, it's because I'm a water cooling enthusiast, but the stuff now is so efficient and runs so much cooler than it used to back in the day when water cooling was necessary. that you can get away with just like an all-in-one water cooling unit, or even like a big air cooler like a Noctua, and be just fine and still overclock.
Okay. Well, some people probably love that segment, and some would hate it. I think Merc is.
I didn't understand most of it.
I've
got a water
blah,
cooler.
blah, 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 blah.